What's up? What's up? Hey, I want to let you know what's going on. Well, I haven't been posting much at all this summer. Once the summer comes around, I don't feel like sitting by a computer editing videos or anything like that. I haven't been shooting a whole lot, and I've been riding quite a bit. Now that winter's coming around, and going to do some maintenance to all this jet skis, all the SeaDoos. I'll have a couple more videos just to try to help entertain you a little bit. I took the 96 GSX out a while back. It would have been about two weeks ago, I guess it was, something like that. And I was riding along. I just did a wide open run. Dang thing died on me. Pooh. Like, oh no, I seized the motor. So I quick hit the start button. Nothing. Didn't do anything. But the lights were on and stuff like that. My tether was still hooked up. So I unplugged the tether and plugged it back in. Beep beep. And hit the start button and it started right back up again. Got it going again. Took off and of course, this is up in Lower City, Tennessee. That's 20-something miles away from my boat ramp. So I was quite a ways away at the time that happened. So I kind of nursed it around for a little while. Hit some wakes and stuff, and really hammered on it pretty good there for a little bit. And dang thing died on me again. What the heck is going on? So I pulled the tether back off again and plugged it back in, beep beep, hit the start button, and it took off, and it ran great the rest of the day. But man, I don't know what was going on. So I was talking to one of my buddies up in Iowa. I bet that thing, it acted like it was an exhaust leak, and he thought, check the spark plugs, check the rave valves, that kind of stuff. And I pulled the spark plugs out, and they were both pretty dark, but they're both really oily. I didn't like how oily they are, so my oil injection's working really well. Anyway, I started fiddling around with it, and all the bolts on my exhaust were loose. You can see where all the exhaust is. The motor's getting dirty from the exhaust scattering all over the place, so got it all cleaned up at least anyway. But anyway, I took them off, cleaned them all up, put some Loctite on them, lock washers, tightened them all up. While I was at it, I turned in my rave valves another half a turn. They're supposed to be flush. These red caps are supposed to be flush from the factory, or for factory setting. And read's on one of the forums that if you turn these in, sometimes you can get a little more RPM, because I can't get max RPM out of this thing. I get 6,500, maybe 6,550. That's all I can get. Well, this thing should be running 6,800, 6,900. That's all stock motor and everything. So I turned these in a half turn a while back during the summer. Didn't really make any difference. I turned it in another half turn after I fixed this exhaust leak. Man, it made a difference. I was running 6,700, 6,750 on my GPS on my camera, my GoPro. I got another, probably a mile and a half an hour on the top end. I could run 53 comfortably, pretty easily, where in the past it would struggle to hit 52. It has run 55 mile an hour before, but it's been a while. Ran, like I said, I hit 53 mile an hour. I hit a lot of wake jumping, and you can see the battery's all cocked back there from getting a little bit too much air somewhere along the way. So I need to do something different about that anyway. I don't like how fragile these things are held in there with this rubber strap. I want to do something different there. And also, I put a new rubber grommet on my oil tank, on the bottom side of my oil tank last winter. And man, I got a lot of oil in here again. So I think I just use zip ties on these, but I got those Oetiker clamps coming from OSD. And so I'm going to put some Oetiker clamps on there and see if that makes any difference. I was running 6,700 RPM, but I'm still only doing 53 mile an hour. So I'm like, that's something's going on here. I think the wear ring is going bad. So I just took a look at the wear ring, and I just put the wear ring in last winter too. But what I noticed is, whoops, you see on the bottom side, there's a pretty good gap on the bottom side. It's probably hard to tell on the camera. There's probably 60 or 80 thousandths gap on the bottom. Not quite that on the top. Probably 50 or 60 thousandths gap on the top. Sides don't look too bad. There might be 20 or 30 thousandths, which is a little bit more than I want. The wear ring looks good, but there's just a lot of gap all the way around that thing. And sure enough, when you take off, especially with two people, it's really cavitating pretty bad. And I ordered for my 97, which is I ordered one of the Delrin rings for the 97, And man, does that thing fit nice and snug all the way around. As far as how much gap there is between the ring and the impeller. So I ordered another one from OSD. Ordered a bunch of stuff, but that was he was out of a couple of things, so he's holding on shipping the wear ring until the rest of the stuff comes in on Thursday. Then he's going to ship it out on Thursday, so it won't be here till Monday or Tuesday next week before I get that Delrin ring. I could probably put this pump in there. This impeller's not the right impeller because it's for a sleeper kit, but I can swap the impeller out of my stock one, put it in that pump, and then try it and see if that makes a difference at all. But anyway, I got another ring coming as it is. But you know, this October 27th, so I'm not going to be out much more anyway, as it is. I was out till the second week of November last year, and they're also they're going to draw down the lake for winter rains, so they'll drop the lake level 3 to 4 feet, and they'll start doing that this week. So the lake's going to be it's deep enough as it is already, unless I go upriver quite a ways. So I'm not worried about running into sandbars or anything like that. I know where all the sandbars are at, so I don't have to worry about that. But once I get across the lake, get in the main channel, it's 25 feet deep right now, so it'll be 21 feet for the most part. And then once I get upriver 3 miles or so, it's 40 feet deep downriver in a couple of the spots up there, so plenty deep as it is. So I'm not worried about that, but the water's just so damn cold. Even though I got wetsuit and wet shoes and gloves and all this stuff, I don't. It gets uncomfortable to ride when you get going 50 mile an hour, and it's only 50 degrees out, 45 degrees out. The wind chill's pretty raw after a little while, so I'm not too worried about riding right now. Plus, I also gotta fix the right now I just got that plug. Notoriously, these plugs on the head pipe of the SeaDoos, these plugs leak, and so I bought a welder and I fixed this one with my aluminum welder. That's the first thing I ever welded. It looks like crap, but I'm sure I think it's going to be sealing up pretty good. So anyway, I got to pull the pipe out of this one. You can't see it, but anyway, that same bung on the back side here, I just JB welded it really thick. It's probably 1/4 inch thick or something. It's been holding for 2 years. While I'll take out the pump and work on that, get my oil pump or get my oil lines all straightened out and get them cleaned up and sealed better. Of course, I'm gonna take the carbs apart this winter and clean them up. Maybe throw a carb kit in there, clean the rave valves. I'll go ahead and pull this exhaust head pipe off too, and then grind out that cap, and then put a new cap on there and weld it in. So there's a lot of little stuff that I want to do to this thing before the spring. I'm also going to get new sponsons. These are sponsons of an XP Limited. The factory ones that I had, I broke 2 of them. Now, this is the factory one here, but they're so hard to find. And then when you do find them, they're usually cracked, like this one here. Where's my phone? See how that's cracked right there? Right in here. So they're usually cracked pretty bad, like that. Well, they aren't going to hold on much longer before something catastrophic is going to happen. So I got 2 sets. Here's another set of XP Limiteds sponsons, but they are not nearly as aggressive as the GSX sponsons on the bottom side. So this thing still slides around quite a bit more than I want it to. I want it to hook a little harder. The reason I haven't been too concerned about it is because since the wear ring got so much gap in it, I really can't get going anyway. If I corner hard, it starts cavitating as it is pretty good. So I wasn't really too concerned about the sponsons as it was. And now that I'm going to get this fixed, the pump fixed, and get a good wear ring in there, I need to look for some good sponsons too as well. So anyway, that's what's going on with the 96 GSX, and so I got a lot of little projects to do on this thing. I can't think of anything else, just other than a few cosmetic things here and there, but that's going to keep me busy for a few weeks during the nights while it gets cool out. I'll start getting a video together of all the work that I'm going to do to this thing, and I'll post it in the near future. We'll talk to you later. See ya.